Alright guys, so today I'm going to be taking you on key nomenclature. I hope that's not a big word. Alright, so simply it is how to name keys. That's what we are going to be treating today. How to name keys and key nomenclature. So I'm taking us back to the knowledge you already have about the music alphabet. I introduced A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, and like that. So in an alternating form. So today, how do we name keys? And for us to be able to name keys, we're going to be applying our knowledge of sharps and flats. And that's very important, sharps and flats. So in case you missed the last lesson, make sure you go back and watch the last lesson. We are introduced you to sharps and flats and natural, so we call that accidentals. So on sharp, I gave you the notation for sharp is like this, like a naira sign. While for flats, we have this as like a small letter B in its italics form. So that is it. So for sharp raises and flats reduce it lowers the sound. So if you have here as A as a natural note, so if you add this, it alters that key A. So this is no longer A natural, this is A flat. So if you have this as G, okay, you raise G, this is no longer G but G sharp. Hope you understand. So with our knowledge of sharps and natural, we are going to be able to name keys. So how do we go about this? So let me write this. So we have this A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So between A and B, there is a key here. Okay. Now, if we are increasing, if we are ascending, we are moving to the right hand side, we use sharp. And if we are lowering, we are bringing it to the left hand side, we are using flat. So now we want to name this key upward. We want to name it in an ascending order. So A moving to B, like I said, there is a key between A and B. There is no natural semitone. There is no natural semitone. The only part where we have the natural semitone, we have it between E and F and between B and C. Between B and C, there's a natural here, natural semitone. In other words, what this means is that there is no key between B and C and between E and F. So in other parts, there are keys there. So there is a key here, 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 alright, there is a key here, there is a key here, and between B and C, there's a natural there. Hope we get it now. Okay, so how do we now name this? If we have A, we have B, we have C. So what other name do we give to the keys that are here? That's what we call the key nomenclature, how to name the keys in music. So if we are starting from A using sharp, so the name of the key here will bear the name of the key we are leaving. Do we get that? This is A. We want to name this key in an ascending manner. So between A and B, there's a key here. So what name do we give to the key that is here? The name that we give to the key that is here, we bear the name of the key we are leaving. So we are leaving A, we are moving upward to name this key. So it will bear the name with a sharp added. Do we get that? So between A and B, there is a key there, which is the A sharp, because we are naming it in an ascending manner. So between B and C, there is no key at all, alright? So we call that the natural semitone. So between C and D, there is a key here, and it will bear the name of the key we are leaving. So we are leaving the key of C to name that key there. So it will be C with a sharp added. Hope you get the logic. So between D and E, there is a key there. So it will bear what? D sharp. So between E and F, there is no key. Between E, F, and G, there is a key. So between F and G, to bear the name F with a sharp added, and we call that F sharp. So between G and A, there is a key. We call this G sharp. And between A and B, there is a key. We call that A sharp. So we can see we are back to A sharp. So we have A sharp, we have C sharp, we have D sharp, we have F sharp, we have G sharp. So the other things we found there, they are natural semitones. Hope we get that. So this is naming this key when we are using sharp. Now when we are using flats, how do we name it? How do we name this key when we are using flat? So we are lowering. So we are moving from our right hand side to the left hand side. We want to name this key. So between B, let us start from here. Between B and A, we said there is a key here. So what name will the key here be? The key here will bear the name of the key we are leaving. Don't forget we are lowering. So we are moving from a certain key downward. So we are moving from B to A, from A to G, from G to F, and like that. So between B and A, there is a key. So it will bear the name of the key we are leaving. So here is B with a flat added. Don't forget that we are lowering. So when we are lowering, we use the word flat. Hope it's not too difficult to understand. So let's move again. So between A and G, there is a key there. So we call this A flat. Between G and F, there is a key. We call this G flat. There is a natural semitone here. So between E and D, there is a key. We call this E flat. It's bearing the name E flat. Alright, because we are using flats, we are moving from a higher point to a lower point. Then between D and C, there is a key, and we call this B flat. There is a natural semitone here. Between B and A, there is a key, and we call this B flat. So something becomes prevalent here, something becomes so obvious here. So we can see that A sharp and B flats, they are found in the same place. C sharp and D flat, they're in the same place. D sharp and E flat, they're in the same position. F sharp and G flat, in the same position. G sharp and A flat, in the same position. And A sharp and B flat are in the same position. So there is a name that is called notes that have the same sound but different names. They have the same sound because they are positioned at the same point, at the same place. So A sharp equals to B flat, C sharp equals to D flat, D sharp equals E flat, and like that. F sharp equals to G flat. So we call this enharmonic notes in music. So when we say some notes are enharmonic, it means they have the same sound, but they have different nomenclature, different names. Alright, so that's how we name